Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you missed last week's episode, we finished a pretty big section of the city street, and that means that now we get to move on to the other side of the city. Now, if you're new to this channel at all, I do a lot of shorts, tutorials, and let's builds just like this one, so if that is something that you are interested in, please do hit that subscribe button so you can follow along on this journey. Also, if this is the first part of the series that you're seeing and you want to catch up on the rest, I will put a link in the video description to the playlist, and also there should be a card for the entire playlist popping up on the screen now. So, however, with all that out of the way, let's get into the build. So, as I mentioned in the intro, we are finally moving over into this part of the city. I have a few ideas of how I'm going to build it up. I'm sure it'll change as I build through here though, so I don't know if you can make out in the video, but I have a straight line cut into the hillside back there, and that's where this section of the city is actually going to end at. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but I will say that it'll end up with a gated section similar to the style of gate coming up from the harbor. But, yeah. So coming back into this build, we have what I started out as a brewery, and then I decided to scrap that and just make it a residence of some kind. But it is still a bit different than the rest of the buildings around here, so it's a different style of building. So maybe it's somebody of somewhat kind of importance to the city, or something like that, or maybe it's just an old industrial building, maybe it was the old brewery, and then as more people came in, they had to build a new brewery, something along the lines of that. Yeah, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So something else that I wanted to touch on is the comments and suggestions that I have been getting from you guys. You guys have absolutely no idea how big of a help that they actually are, and I do want each and every one of you to know that I write every single suggestion down, and I promise you that I will apply them somewhere within my videos, whether that's a let's build, a tutorial, a time-lapse, anything like that, YouTube short, whatever. I will try to get it in somewhere. And, so whether it be this series or the next one or in the shorts, wherever, they will get put into a build, and I'll make sure to put your suggestion in whatever video it is, right? So if you've made a suggestion, please don't think that I've ignored it, because I can assure you I absolutely have not. So something cool that I've noticed when I was building these two buildings is that I'm finally getting around to the spot where the buildings are incorporating 2 or 3 or even 4 of the same building techniques, I guess you could call them, as a previous build, and it's completely by coincidence. But it really made me think of how quickly your brain sort of forgets what you previously applied to the other builds. So you have no idea how many times I've been here building and my brain said, oh, do this, that'll look great. And then after a minute of deliberation, I realized that, yeah, it does sound good, because I did that on 2 different buildings already. But, yeah, so another thing that I noticed is that I'm running through the city pretty quickly, so I wanted to slow it down a little bit so we can showcase more of the builds within the video, and it doesn't just speed run through everything, and you kind of miss some details in the builds and stuff. There have been a handful of people that kind of suggested that I slow the content down and stuff, so we'll do that. So basically, instead of 3 or 4 buildings in a video, we're going to cut it back to 1, probably about 2, but depending on how big the build is in the video, it'll probably come out to be, average 2, but if it's a big build, then it'll just be that 1 per video. So there's not too much to say about this, but I wanted to circle back, and I wanted to say that although these buildings are slightly different than the original idea that I had planned, I think at the end of the day, they do shine on their own with their own bit of unique flair, and I do really like the way that they turned out. But yeah, like I said, there's not too much to say about these builds. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I really do. I'm enjoying building this, and I am enjoying watching the city kind of bloom and explode into this. This is one of the biggest projects I've ever done here in Minecraft, and yeah, I'm glad you guys are along for the ride. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys for watching, but I am going to leave you here with the rest of the video, and guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, and you have made it this far, consider hitting that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it. It's a little thing for you guys, but it does help me out quite a bit. And of course, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do drop them down in the comments. I read down through all of them, like I've mentioned before. Yeah, I do like seeing what you guys have to say. But with all that being said, I'm going back on out here, and I will see you later and catch you on the next one.